is Joanna Tutova, co-founder of Cointelegram, and our honored guest, Prince Hereditary of Serbia and Yugoslavia, Filip Karađorđević. And he's as well quite a big proponent of Bitcoin, and he's currently Chief Strategy Officer of Gen3. And great to have you here, Filip.
Great to meet you. Great to be here.
So can you tell us about your background? You mentioned you worked before in traditional finances, so how did you get involved with crypto?
I was working in finance, with traditional finance, for maybe about 15, up to almost 15 years. My last job was working asset management based in the City of London. Then I moved to Belgrade 2 years ago with my wife and son. Finally I can move to Belgrade. The pandemic, I was able to, my job went remotely, so I was able to use that opportunity to move to Serbia. But then after, when the offices opened in London, they asked me if I'm ever coming back. I said, well, I'm comfortable here now. And then a few months later, on a big talk show, in an evening show in Serbia, I came out that I was a Bitcoiner. And that gained a lot of traction in the Bitcoin world, of course. And next thing I know, I flew out to the Miami conference. I met the likes of Samson Mao, and he offered me a job at Gen3.
Which year was it?
This was this year. This year, March was a TV show, and I met Samson in April. And he already offered me a job. He just opened up his company, which is Gen3. It's a Bitcoin technology company. But with a focus also on nation-state adoption. So it's something that he thought I would be keen about, and he was right, and I'm very keen about it. So then a few months later, I managed to transition out of my job from legacy finance, because I'm passionate about Bitcoin. I believe in Bitcoin. I first discovered Bitcoin in 2017, but I was also into some other the altcoins and stuff, you know, and then 2020 I studied more about Bitcoin, and I realized that it's only about Bitcoin for me, and I sold everything else I had and continued with Bitcoin.
And from where did you know a lot about Bitcoin and crypto?
From where?
So yeah, like what was the source? As like
it's one of my best friends. I first actually came across Bitcoin in 2012, but then didn't think much of it. I just saw it. Someone said, "Oh, is it going to 100 or whatever?" Just it's just some internet money. And then I came across it in 2017, where I saw it more online, and my friend, my best friend, he says, "Hey, I'm buy Bitcoin. It's going to make you a lot of money, but it's great, interesting technology. The 21 million, it's a great hedge against inflation and all that." So I thought, okay, fantastic. But then I got carried away with the other coins.
And in what did you see the value of Bitcoin back then?
What was the value when I got in?
I mean, not surprised, but like, why did you see Bitcoin valuable?
Because of the hard cap, limited supply. But that was pretty much all my knowledge. Yeah, I knew the decentralization, the mining, but that was it really. And it wasn't until a couple of years later I started studying more about it. In 2020, when the pandemic hit, I knew that there was something wrong with this world. So that made me study more about Bitcoin, because I joined Bitcoin Twitter, and it opened my eyes up a little bit more to the real problem of the system. Knowing that I'm working legacy finance, I always knew something was wrong, and it's quite hard to put your finger on it. You're sort of kind of brainwashed by it from a very young age. And finally, Bitcoin gives you that lens to see through this crap, basically. And once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Yeah, I agree with you. And you mentioned you invested as well into some ICOs back then.
Yeah,
Do you still invest into any altcoins?
No. I got burned for ICOs like a lot of people did, and I had Ethereum, I had Litecoin, I had a few others, but that was it. That was just because I thought they were interesting. But I only believe in Bitcoin. I believe that all that technology can be built on the layers of Bitcoin. And Bitcoin it has the immaculate conception. It doesn't have a marketing team or like a CEO and stuff. So that to me is it shows it's purely decentralized, and it's almost virtually uncorruptible.
And what about Ethereum?
No, I don't see it. No, especially now that they've moved away from probably the only redeeming factor they had was proof of work and moved to proof of stake. So no, it's definitely it's a gone. It's one of them.
So you sold it?
Yeah, well, no, I sold it ages ago, but I think for them, moving to proof of stake was definitely one of the final nails in the coffin for them.
And now, before getting full time into crypto with Chance3, like, did you do just investing for yourself, or
I was investing. I was obviously trading, trying to be clever, but reading charts. But I'm not that clever. I realized that you will sleep easier if you just DCA and just buy once a week at the same time every week, and you can just forget about it, and you end up looking at the price left, and you end up looking at the price less and focusing more on productive things in life. And meanwhile, your stack is accumulating, so it's beautiful.
And can you tell about Chance3?
Yeah, Chance3, it's a Bitcoin technology company, and we'll be releasing a wallet which is incorporating USDT Tether on Liquid, and it will be released. It will be big in Latin America because they want exposure to the US dollar, but not actually own the US dollar, and it'll be Bitcoin only. We'll have other technologies, maybe look at mining, maybe a mining pool, maybe a hardware wallet, but at the moment it's a software wallet that we have, the hot wallets, and then we have our role is to speed up hyper-Bitcoinization. That's the nation-state adoption. So I'll be striking conversations around the role of politicians, monarchs, companies, individuals, using that top-down approach. But as you know, Bitcoin is a bottom-up approach. But I think both. I think the bottom-up needs a hand from top-down, so that to guide it and to educate from top-down as well.
And you're originally from Serbia. Can you tell more about crypto adoption there? What do you see in terms of regulations and in terms of crypto usage?
Last year they introduced their first crypto law, and I don't think it's definitely good. It's they have capital gains tax, which I don't think is right. Fair enough. Okay, a lot of countries have that, but also barriers of entry to get to get a license in the business. It's not easy. And existing crypto companies are having a hard time to get the licenses as well. And I think this is going to just to speed up the brain drain of the country. People are just going to seek other places to practice it. Serbia has had a problem for brain drain issue for decades now. And one part of the reason why I moved back to Serbia and is I want to help reverse that trend. And bring back talent back to the country and make sure that the talent doesn't leave. So I'm really, and I think Bitcoin is a big part of that goal. I'll be opening up a foundation with my wife. It's going to be focused on Bitcoin. We're going to start a lot of projects with sustainable business models that focus on just simple, but focus on creating jobs and circular economies to do with the health, environment, ecological issues, but also we're going to be focused on cultural heritage, being from a royal family as well. We want to preserve tradition, cultures, and values.
And so do you plan as well to cooperate with the government, or have you thought to get a government position, or have advisory roles?
I don't want to be involved with. I don't want to be involved in politics, but of course I have to deal with politicians. I'm non-partisan, but there are monarchy parties in Serbia, and there's definitely a rise of supporting monarchy to be returned to Serbia. There always has been support for the return of monarchy to Serbia, but that's for the politics to deal with. I'm just going to be focusing on just being a father, a husband, and a Bitcoiner, and just creating jobs. But yes, that means I have to deal with politicians. But I would hope that politicians, their reach over all aspects of life will be reduced, because I think politics has gone too far these days.
Yeah. And as well, you told that you speak with a lot of governments. Where do you see the most advancements in terms of crypto regulations?
Latin America, probably. I think they really get it. Thanks to El Salvador as well, taking that leap of faith last year. So I'm actually going for the first time in November for Adopting Bitcoin conference. I'm excited about that. I think other countries in Latin America, with smaller countries, you're looking at neighboring countries, Guatemala, maybe Costa Rica, they look at El Salvador, they see the better economical situation there after adopting Bitcoin. And I think, game theory is playing out there beautifully, or hopefully. So Latin America really is probably the next place, but who knows? I mean, Central African Republic, they adopted recently, so who knows?
And what are your thoughts on central bank digital currencies?
Oh, as I said in the panel, it's scary stuff.
I thought you mentioned yesterday China.
Yeah, because I think the reason why I chose China as a place that would for Bitcoin adoption first, I was toying between China and Brazil, but I think that China, if they reverse their surveillance policies that they have, and this craziness of this zero COVID policies and absolute clampdown on the individual rights and everything, I think they really need it first, and they can really set the trend, I think, because of their political, their economical reach around the world. They have a lot of clout, so if China adopts, I think that will cause a domino effect faster around the world. But I mean, I'm for every country to adopt it.
Yeah, and as well there was some article in the media that you have been talking about potential adoption of Bitcoin as a legal tender or like crypto by Middle Eastern country.
It was probably not taking that bit of context. I just said because Sharia finance law, their idea of ideal money is actually basically Bitcoin. So I said I wouldn't be surprised if maybe one of those countries, one of the Middle Eastern countries, the practice of Sharia law would adopt it. So, but of course, people look at that and say, "Oh, there's going to be."
And how do you generally see the current market, and when do you expect the next bull run?
Who knows? But I see the current broader market. I see more right now. This day, now, I see the counter trend. Of the down markets, so I think broader markets will continue going down, going for another year or two maybe, and I don't know, maybe I think if Bitcoin can just hold off around where it is right now and improve itself as less volatile, I think some decoupling might happen. I'm being hopeful, I'm being optimistic here, but yeah, we'll go back up again soon enough. I'm patient enough and I'm stacking all the time, so I'm happy with the price right now for the moment.
Yeah, let's see. Thank you for the exciting conversation.
Thank you very much, Anna.